need a bit of sound before I start. The Ganzi. Let's see how this works out now. All sound now, pick if you sound now though. I should hope you have sound now. Yeah, you have sound now. Let's try that. That way. Hear me all right there? I will put on my white coat in a while. It does go better with sound, all right. How's it going, lads, boys and girls on YouTube? As my friend Mr. Dranfield would say, who, by the way, gave us all a masterclass in TV repair with that joke I gave him, the Z718. If anyone is seeing that, I don't know. Let's go for test card D for the crack. I think the old DVD is getting worn out. There we go. So how's it going, everyone? I am going to have a can of Smithwick's Red Ale. Oh, you'll enjoy it, Roundy. Masterclass indeed. As you'd expect from someone. You're in for a treat. I think it's an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah. Michael knows what he's at. We know that. So how's it going, everyone? Hope you're keeping well out there. This is it. Better than last weekend. Good. Glad to hear that White Sapphire. Though not altogether as well as I expected. You'll get there in the end, as they say. All being well. We've the musical joys of Radio Scotland with us tonight. I was tuned in from the last time I was tuned in. BBC Radio Scotland. Who, interesting enough, don't mention, I just listened to the news there in Radio Scotland, just as I was starting up the live stream. They mentioned that they're on DAB, that they're on something called Sounds, that they're on FM, and that they're on your smart speaker, but they don't mention that they're on medium wave, which is a bit sad. Well, I suppose that's the way it's going. It's all be in the bin soon enough, I think. Definitely by the end of this decade, the big burners will be all long gone. BBC Sounds app, yeah. This week was a bit touch and go, but this is it. So get your boots full of Odds Nodge live stream tonight, because there won't be one for a while. So do enjoy, fill up, get your cups overflowing with Odds Nodge live streamness. Yeah. Phasing out the old medium wave. That's what they're doing. Medium wave is on the way out. But they'll be different. You know. What is it? Yeah, I don't know. Something about a vacuum wants to be filled or something. I think, something will end up with all these I've left, I'm sure. Whether it's some sort of low power community thing, or amateur radio, or pirates, of course, will. I think medium wave will be there in some form or other. It's all interesting to see. That is the crack. We've got 9 people watching with 5 thumbs up, which isn't bad. Still haven't gotten around to having my supercomputer repaired, so it's just not the same. It's not the same at all. Well, the news is, I fear it will not be anything widespread. Way easier just to stream now, and cheaper too. Yeah. A lot of depends around. Maybe you build a little pirate transmitter of your own. I think if everyone that had a collection of vintage radios decided they were going to have at least a 1 watt medium wave transmitter, might make it a bit interesting, possibly. Good man, Roundy. Well, I could put out 20 watt on medium wave. Yes, I remember that comment of yours a while ago. All right. I didn't forget that one, Al. Definitely not. That's when someone says in the live stream or somewhere else that there's a 20 watt medium wave transmitter, it tends to pique my interest, I must admit. We've got Sid, Echo India 3, India Echo Bravo in the chat. Good evening, sir. Hope you're keeping well. Now, what we're going in for tonight, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, we're going in for an ultra relaxed live stream. So there's not going to be no excitement here tonight. We're going to be nice and easy, relaxing Sunday evening. That's what we're looking for here. It's not going to be anything wild or exciting happening here tonight at all. We're on a sort of a wind down here. This is going to be the last, most likely the last live stream for a while. So we're just going to settle into it. We'll see if Michael Dranfield pops in later on. I want to ask him something. Roundy, you see, you have to be able to just chill out sometimes. It can't be all the time excitement. No. You wear yourself out, You wear yourself out. I get it, don't worry. Well, I sort of knew you did, to be fair. Yeah, no, I couldn't see you getting excited now either. There's no point getting all out of sorts, Why am I cutting back on the live streams? I've a few things coming up that's going to take up a bit of time. So I can't commit to live streams for a while anyway. At least the month of March will be out of the question anyway. And yeah, I'm going to call this the next one, the last one tonight. Yeah, definitely. I'll pull the plug tonight for a while. Whether I'll get time to make videos or not, probably not, but maybe. We were just discussing that, Mr. White. Good evening to you, by the way. Yeah, I've seen Michael's latest video, which is very, very good. I'm glad you got that set going. Wonderful stuff. We won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched, because Roundy Mooney's set to watch it later on. Needless to say, the usual quality that you expect from Mr. Dranfield. It was one of the ones that I brought over to him. So I brought over, if you remember the video that I did with Michael, at the end, towards the end of the video, we showed a pile of televisions that I dumped on his doorstep, and it was probably the best one of those. Although that Red Diffusion was a beautiful set. It was in good cosmetic nick, except someone had added a remote control and an automatic tuner to it at some stage. But it was still very cosmetically, it was tasty television, and unfortunately the line output transformer packed in on him half an hour after we got it going, which is typical, So this one that he's working on now anyway is a better prospect. It's probably the second It's probably the best TV out of a lot of them. So yeah, if anyone could get it going, it'd be him anyway. Norman Donnelly's here as well. Good evening, Norman. So how are you? Hope you're keeping well too. Well, this is the problem. And for the red diffusion, getting a line output transformer for it is difficult, to say the least, which is a bit upsetting. All is well here. Thank you, Norman. So yeah, line output transformers and CRTs are the biggest issues. Of course, modern split diode line output transformers, you can't really get in there to rewind those, unfortunately. I'm sure it could be done if you really, really, really put your mind to it, but it'd be serious going. Of course, with the older ones, there's a little bit of hope. But yeah, it's line output transformers are certainly becoming a serious issue. I don't think he would, Roundy, because it's a modern type line output transformer. I don't. And for the colour set, there's so many windings on them. Alright, black and white set where there's 4 or 5 windings, sync winding and over winding, the driver winding, and the winding for the 9 scan coils or whatever. But when you get into, modern line output transformer for colour set, with maybe 8 or 9 or 15 windings on it, maybe, depending. It's not a goer, unfortunately. I think someone attempted to rewind a G6 line output transformer. Of course, they're of the older construction. There's just more windings on it, but I don't think it was successful. This is with the modern split diode line output transformers. Yeah, that's something I've thought about, alright. We're all keeping well here. Thank you, Mr. Brackley. Good evening, Barry. Again, multiple windings and a lot of ringing. Yeah. Yeah, it's not something I've looked into now, but it's certainly something worth considering, alright, as we go down that road with, the more modern televisions, line output transformers. I have one of the data books there for all the line output transformers from Koenig, and it gives you the windings and all that kind of gear. So I'm sure you could look up through the cross-reference and whatever. Might be possible. Of course, you could do away with some windings that are feeding voltage rails, and find other ways of feeding the voltage rails. But it gets very complicated very quickly, unfortunately. But as I say, if you want to keep things going, that's I suppose depends how far you're willing to go with this stuff. I'm probably not willing to go as far as some other people are. But then again, having the time and what have you. I have to admit that these days I'm into low-hanging fruit. The easy option, I'm afraid. Yeah, well, he actually tried Donberg, and no, they didn't have one for them either. But yeah, what they do have now, they know how to charge. But that lady always knew how to charge, Roundy. But then, business for them must be pretty slow these days. I mean, at one time they were the main supplier for all the TV repair shops in Ireland. And as we've discussed here, every half decent town had at least 3 or 4 TV repair shop in it at one stage, and they were turning over some serious money in the good days. But I mean, it's gone off the edge of the cliff now, and then of course they're competing with the likes of eBay and all that sort of stuff. So I think life got pretty difficult for them. It was a serious business for them, all right. Schoolmaster's house, Donegal. Yeah. They can't be spring chickens either. I shouldn't think so. I should think they're getting on already. Yeah. German couple. As the name would suggest, Donberg. It's a German name. And that's where they used to do all the Koenig stuff. They bought in direct from Germany. They had toys there, you know. So a lot of the Koenig branded test equipment that John would have gotten over the years all came from Donberg. Just looking there at the bench was actually a digital bench multimeter. One of the early jobs. It's, you know, it's nothing special at all, but he would have bought that back in, I don't know, I'd say the early 80s. Oh, they had a massive selection already, yeah, they did. So with the Koenig digital multimeter, we have a frequency counter as well there somewhere. I don't know where that is. And a capacitance meter as well. I think that's the capacitance meter on the bench actually. Yeah. That's a Koenig brand. I don't know if they made it or not. Or Koenig. There's a Koenig. Do you pronounce the O long with the 2 dots on top of it? I think you do. No, you wouldn't. Well, I don't. That doesn't seem much use. What else? Oh, the CRT tester / rejuvenator that I have, that's Koenig as well. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. All these different things you need. Half decent multimeter does it all now. But that's the way it goes. 22 watching with 18 thumbs up, which is pretty good going, to be fair. We're doing well. We're doing well tonight. For this last one, roundy. For a while. We'll have the nice warm evenings in when I come back, which will be good. So, if it's Radio Scotland this evening, will the musical act be Rod Stewart and Jim Diamond instead of Xiaomi? I know, we can turn the knob for you. Don't concern yourself, Roundy. We will tune in something. I have one of them split diode testers here as well, actually. The HR, yeah. I have one of those. I actually have 2 of them. But I think one of them was broken. Michael White says, there used to be lots of TV spare suppliers in Northern England. None exist anymore. No, indeed. You look back. You know, I like to look at the old TV mags and you go back years ago and the amount of them that have all gone. All those pages and pages of ads of defunct companies. And probably all the old boys that ran them are all gone now as well, which is sad. John Cook is here. Good evening, sir. How are you? We hope you're keeping well too. Aye. John Cook is from the north. Very good, sir. We have a few viewers from the north. We hope this evening finds you well, sir. White Sapphire says, we had a CHS, which is Charlie Hyde, was it? Is that the same crowd? Right on our doorstep. We bought their last 2 G6 line input transformers. Antrim saw, very good. Right up there. When you look back at the kits, etc., available back in the day, none of it was cheap. No, it wasn't. But then tellies weren't either, I guess. No, they weren't. You look back, you go back to the early 70s, and you see the ads by disposal companies. 19 and 23-inch dual standard sets for sale, £5 each. And you think, Jesus, that's great. £5 for the television off the pile. Then you look at the price of the magazine, which was probably 12 pence or something, and you put it in perspective. Then you think, oh, £5 wasn't cheap. Um, for a clapped out television. Charlie Hyde it was, based in Pocklington, about 10 miles from here. Are they gone now? Um, who else? I missed a comment as well. Good evening, Odge. Loving the streams. Being busy watching your back catalogue. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Jim. Nice to have you aboard. There won't be live streams for a while, but we will return as well. Yes, Patrick Bourne is in the chat as well. Good evening, sir. Let's see, how many have we got in the chat now at the minute, actually? 23 watching, anyway. Come on, little mouse. Participants. Audio Al, Barry, Patrick Bourne, John Kilk, Kev B, Micah White, Roundy Mooney, Stu and White Sapphire. Wonderful. Come on, hurry up, come back to live chat. Sometimes when I click out, the live chat vanishes for a few seconds. No sign of coming back yet. Come on, no, there we go. Kev B is here. Good evening, Kev. Good to have you aboard as well, pal. Big shout out to you all the way over there in Liverpool. Audio says, I was just talking to a friend of mine. He bought a Philips reel-to-reel. It was stuck in pause. He paid 250 quid to get it fixed. I said, are you mad? Yeah, well, to be fair, Al, if it's a commercial operation, trying to make a living at that, to put it on the bench, it's probably not a bad figure, really, when you consider the price of a lot of things these days. If someone asked me to fix a radio for them or whatever, on like a commercial basis, you're going to spend about 10 hours labor there, farting around on the bits and pieces. I wouldn't do it for much less, I don't think. Michael White says CHS was, I think, passed all business over to ASWO in France. Oh, who looked through the Argos website I posted last week? I didn't. I know I didn't, Norman. The audio boys love reel-to-reel. They consider it the best analog medium. Yeah, I don't know. I can barely hear the difference between an Edison cylinder and a CD. It's all the same. I listen to the music, not the audio format. White Sapphire says, you need your white coat on. From here, I can see a face in the corner of a room. The rest of you is in darkness. I suggest you reduce your contrast slightly and turn up your brightness. You're probably watching me on some 405 line set, which won't help. Norman Donnelly says, Kev B, any memories? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the chill probably could be on the way out, alright. Am I smearing to the right as well? Brightness up, contrast down a touch. Yeah, and I should come back in then. He thought it was the smelling. Wonderful stuff. We've got 26 watching with 23 likes. That's not bad going, roundy, is it? We're doing all right for a Sunday evening. Right. Oh, good man. Kev B's got his holidays booked even if he's not feeling so well. Well, that'll make you feel better. Are you heading anywhere nice, Kev? I hope you're going somewhere nice. Yeah. With a bit of luck. It's focused on the blue can on the shelf. Oh, well, yeah, that's where it belongs, you know. Hold on, let's see. Has it focused in on me now? I think it has. Oh, you're going to Tenerife to get some diving in. Oh, you were saying to me you were into the diving, all right. Oh, yeah, you'll have a nice time down there. Norman, I think you need to adjust your focus, pal. That's as good as it's going to get. After Paris, the start of April, UK in June, and maybe again for the show or two. Still need to book the sun holiday. Not sure where yet. Do you think you'll get over to the MVCF this year, Roundy? John Cook says, I'm wearing a white coat again, fixing the lab equipment, DNA extraction, genetic screeners, robotic liquid handling, immunization platforms, but I miss working on the TVs and videos. It's not the same, I'm sure. Am I going for the MVCF? I would say 80%. 80%, yes. I have the boat booked, so, but I don't know if other circumstances might crop up in the meantime. So I don't know, but that's the plan anyway. But it could happen that I will have to cancel at the last minute, but we shall see. As I say, there's a lot going on here at the minute, but should be good. The only thing now is what date is it? Oh God, Jesus! Don't ask me what date it is. It's a bit later this year than it usually is. I think it's the third weekend of May. Yeah, I think it's the third weekend of May. What I would say is, someone wants to put in RetroTech UK into their search engine there real quick and those confirm. I can't remember what fucking date it is, but I'm sure it's the third weekend of May. Videos, top loaders, John Cook like top loaders. I never really got into VHS players or top loader Betamax for that matter, although I do have a few here. There's a Sony C7 sitting here on the ground for me. They're going to be passed on to someone who's really into them, as I am not. The only one I have here, and it works to a point, is although it needs to be done, it needs a new belt anyway for a start. I have a rubber band on it at the minute, but it does go. Is Sanyo VTC 9300. Bloody thing weighs a ton. That huge single motor that does everything. Remember the Ferguson piano key ones? Well, I think, were they rebadged Sanyos? The Ferguson ones? Or Panasonics? Panasonic video card 777 best ever. No, NV2000 was the best ever. I had an NV2000 years ago, and I scrapped it, and I really shouldn't have. Because I had a brand new head in it, and the picture quality on that was incredible. It was like, it was like DVD. It was really good. It was class. I always regret letting that one go. Although it just didn't have the space, the time to keep it, unfortunately. But it was a beautiful machine. Yeah, NV2000, I'll never forget that. If I had the chance to get another one of them, I'd go for it, alright. And it had the new head in it. It was snazzy. We never have the space now, but it's just a nightmare, So I'm sorting out a lot of my late friends' stuff here as well, and I have to go through everything. Piano Key Ferguson was also a JVC. And most rentals badged in 3V00 and 3V22. Most common model numbers. Thanks, Kevin. JVC, yeah. Japan Victor Company, isn't it? Yeah. Nigel P. Lawrence was here as well. Good evening, sir. Smithy getting stuck in the moustache. Fair 64. Good evening, sir. Good sets, those Fergusons. Oh, yeah. Fine. What was it? Fine sets, these Fergusons, wasn't it? I think that was the same, anyway. Mr. Lawrence says, I am east side of Irish Pond in southwest Cumbria. Used to pick up pantry TV from Ireland. Oh, you would, no problem. Kev B says he can't make the NVCF. He's going on the 20th of May. Oh dear. That would cause complications. Let me know, Kev, if that causes you complications, by the way, and we'll sort something out for you. Because my father lives in Colville. I'll leave it at that. What was the reception like? I'd take a hazard a guess, Roundy. The reception probably wasn't bad at all. But Mr. Lawrence was having. Will I be seeing Mr. Dranfield when I'm over? I don't know yet. I can't confirm what I'm doing the day before. I might have to go and see someone else. So that won't happen. And unfortunately, I'm a bit tight on time. If I get to go, it's still not 100% that I will get to go at all. Even though I have the boat booked. But I have it booked with last minute cancellation cover. But if I do go, I'm not going to have the time that I would like. Really, I know. Further down the line, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make a week of it over there, because I have a few things to do over there. Only my personal business, but there's a few people in this game that I want to go and visit as well. I'm going to try and organise something, but it's not going to be this year. It'll most definitely be into next year, if But yeah, I kind of need a week over there to go and visit a few people and do things. But yeah, so I don't know if we're going to get to see Mr. Dranfield or not. It'd be good. Of course, Mr. Dranfield should get his arse down to the NVCF as well. He should hop in that little field of his and get down there. Stop his messing. Fill it up with goodies. John Cook says, I bought my first second-hand video recorder. Ferguson Video Star from work with wired remote, snazzy. Roundy Mooney says, well, if I go, it'll be combined with family stuff as well. What will conspire against me is kids' exams and that I have a wedding over there again at the end of June. Oh, that doesn't help at all, Roundy. Novico, Nippon Victor Company, morphed into JVC, Japanese Victor. If you find any Novico products, you've found the Holy Grail. Is that right? I'm sure I've got something badged in a Vico here somewhere. Or at least JVC in a Vico, I think. Oh, no, an amplifier. It's not here though, is it? No, it's in a container. He used to live in there. We'll sort something out. I'll be right here. Yeah, we'll game ball our way through it, as we say here. 34 people watching with 29 likes. Very good. Roundy Mooney learned something new today. Roundy Mooney says, today I learned having bought a new fridge freezer that LG stands for Lucky Gold Star. Snazzy. That's some name, alright. Lucky Gold Star, huh? Some crack. Right, I'm going into the house for a minute. I'm going to go and get my white coat. So, that's a noise in earlier. Right. What's the worst possible thing I could make you listen to when I'm gone? It won't be anything too extreme.
He never did anybody a bit of harm.
No. It wasn't Keith's fault. The guy told him the untie hitch.
Here's the
so
Irish
they could
TV
show us
license
my man's
players
video
money
on
well
his
spent.
From there to there, which is it's 2 notes short of 2 octaves.
Don't make me over.
There's the local NDB for you to listen to. When you listen to it closely, you might be able to triangulate where it is I am. Now, it's not that close. I have resolved. Sorry for keeping you waiting. There's a lot going on. Right. The coat is back. Yeah, no. Yeah. The coat's back because it's not that warm in here tonight, actually. Like, it's okay, but it's not, you know. It's not tropical. Sound okay at that? Now let me catch up with the commentos. 33 people watching with 31 thumbs up. We're nearly there, Roundy. Nonny says, yep. Beep, beep, beep. Underscore. Dennis. Dennis is here. Now, I think the lads got it. That is indeed Garmanstown on 334. I think it is 334. I always thought it was 333, but I think it's 334. Now to focus again. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not a big fan of Samsung televisions, to be honest. LG are alright. Not easy to work on though. At least for appliances. Yeah. Samsung mobile phones all the way. Roundy Mooney. And now he leaves us for this. Dennis is M1 DLG. Yeah. So it is Garmanstown, yeah, which is, I don't know. So many miles away from me, 15 or something. Right. Radio Caroline coming in well tonight. Anyway, yeah, I think that is the garment stuff. Up here. Or beacon, should I say. So that's pretty much it. 30 watching, 29 watching. Excellent. Excellent. 34 thumbs up there. We've made it. We have made it. You see, you think it's bad, Roundy, but it could always be far more worse. See, one string Hendrix doesn't sound so bad now. Jackie Chan is in the chat. Let me see. Participants in the chat. Let's see who we got in the last. Underscore, Dennis, Jackie Chan, Massive Fan, Normal Dunn, Brownie Moon, White Sapphire. Very good, very good. A nice relaxing evening, and it's just coming up to 5 to 9. So we're doing well. We're doing quite nicely. I must say it's quite mild here outside for this time of year. It's surprising. 62 thumbs up at the end of last week's live stream. That's right, Norman. So we gotta watch that figure before we jack it in this evening. I actually have that wrote down on a piece of paper inside the house. So we are making a note. 62. So if you have those tuned in, press the thumbs up button. David Smith, good evening. I love watching your vintage TV and radio videos, even though I know bugger all about capacitors and resistors, purely from a nostalgia point of view. Excellent. Excellent. Well, it's great to have you aboard, David, and thank you very much for subscribing and coming in. Roundy Mooney had noted it on the chat as well, yes. So we will see if we break that figure tonight or not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how long I'm going to stay out here either, but yeah, we'll see. We shall see. It's all heading in the right direction, as we discussed during the week, Roundy. So no, I'm quite happy with it. I'd be happier if I had my proper computer working again. But we'll get to that in due time. It should be repaired in time for my big comeback. Any new projects? As such, no new projects, and I am not in a position to take anything on now at the minute either. As I say, with the live streams coming to an end now for a while, and just other stuff going on here and priorities and so forth. The video might come out in the next month on something, but it most likely won't as well. With time constraints, we're looking at coming back to some sort of normality in sort of April, if things settle down. I did, however, and I was waiting for Michael Dranfield to pop up in the chat, but he hasn't thrown his hat into the ring yet. Anyway, he's most likely busy basking in his glory of how well his latest video has gone. White Sapphire asks, is there a projected date for Odge 2, the return of Jonjo? No. It's just other priorities coming into play here at the minute, so I just won't have time with this between work and other stuff going on, so that has to take a back burner for a while. Did pick up something during the week, went to visit a friend of mine who is a very instrumental man in the vintage television and radio community. Although people wouldn't necessarily know who he was or that, but he does a vast amount of work with standards converters, to name one thing. So he's helping to keep all these 4059 televisions alive. And a vast amount of work he does in developing standards conversion and so forth. All stuff that's way over my pay grade. But I went to visit him during last week, and he had collected on my behalf something off eBay. And I went to collect it off him because I wanted to tie up loose ends. And that was a Sony KV 1320 Mark 1. And it's working beautifully, actually. It needs a bit of twiddling and fiddling around with. So I was waiting for Mr. Dranfield to pop into the chat because no doubt he knows any pitfalls. But I think the Mark 1s are pretty good, actually, from what I'm reading. Fairly straightforward in the power supply section and that, none of that GCS nonsense. And that gets very expensive very quickly. So, and it's working. I have it in the house there that I was watching it earlier on. It's a really good set. The CRT in it. I was a bit concerned at the start because it shows signs of use. So, the paint is all rubbed off the plastic around the tuning now. That kind of thing. So I thought, now I got it at a good price, which I was actually surprised. Well, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I paid €50 for it. And it's in decent cosmetic condition. And they seem to go for money these days. Now, that's why I didn't get one, because I wouldn't be willing to spend the money that the people to be looking for them. But it just popped up. It was a consolation prize. It was actually after something else the seller had. But the gentleman in question actually bought it. But anyway, yeah, 1320, and it's a nice nick. I always fancied one. I remember there was one there was a Sony shop. I remember they had one in the window as a display many years ago, and I fancied one of them. And I've always sort of been on the eye out for one, so when I seen it, I went for it. So anyway, when I seen all the word around the knob and that, I thought, there's going to be problems here. Sure enough, no, the CRT in it is really good. Beautiful picture on it. So I don't know, it's either had a replacement at some stage, or I don't know, it's just a good one, because most of them went flat. Now, Roundy Mooney says you can't boost them. No. No. Any attempt to overdrive the heater or to pop them with a rejuvenator will end in tears. I guarantee it. There was, and White Sapphire will remember this because it was on the forum that she frequents. On the VRAF forum, a number of years ago now, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, there was an article, and I can't remember, so you're going to have to forgive me, but maybe White Sapphire will be able to fill in the blanks here. One of the gentlemen there came up with what he called a non-destructive cathode rejuvenation, where you slowly, I think you slowly increase the heater voltage over a few hours, and whilst drawing current from the cathode, and you could, very gently rejuvenate it. And apparently it worked. But I never heard any more about it since. And I had thought about that because I actually have another little Sony television here. Whose tube is completely knackered. And that's a Sony 990 UB. And it's very, very sad. It will show a picture in a dark room. And actually, the picture on it's quite watchable. Like all the content and detail is in the picture. It's just really, really dark. So if you're in a dark room with the lights off, you can watch it. But obviously, you know, when Sony made it new, they didn't intend you to watch it in a, you know, with the blinds closed. So yeah, it's had a hard life in the tube. And I was thinking of that method to rejuvenate. They don't rejuvenate at all either because the cathodes are so small on them. It only has one electron gun, but it doesn't have. I can't remember. I know there's something about it. Yeah, that one or other colour can go down. Maybe the grid gets poisoned by the cathode or something. I don't, for whichever colour. But yeah, they can. Is it 1340? Yeah, I think I had one of them here at one time. Audio Al says my first colour TV was a Sony. Great TV. Don't have it anymore. Got it from Harry Moore. Yeah, you'd see them sort of a one colour missing on that. The Sony, the Trinitron was an interesting tube. Of course, much brighter than a conventional tube because you have the slots. So they go into all this detail about, you know, how much electron energy is wasted, thus getting smashed off the shadow mask in a conventional, say, Delta Gun TV tube, compared to that of the slot grill of a Trinitron. Now they're not without their troubles as well. If they get a knock, the little grill wires can get tangled, stuff like that. And if they get a heavy knock, they can. There's little slots that they can expand and retract in as they heat up and cool down. They can fall out of those tracks, and you just get lovely rainbowy colours in your picture, and your CRT is fake. That was actually saying by there's an Irish gentleman in Dublin who collects more, what I would call more modern televisions. And he did a write-up on the UK Vintage Radio Forum last year about a Sony television that he got posted from England. And it obviously must have fell on its face or something at some stage, but he had all these mad problems with the colour, but it turned out to be the CRT itself where the shadow mask had fallen out of the slots, or the shadow grill aperture, I should say, the Trinitron, fell out of the slots. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about that. Yeah, Trinitron they have separate cathodes, isn't that it? Yeah, they still have separate cathodes, I think. Get a towel on a large plank of wood. Give it a bang. Yeah, that's if the grill wires get tangled. I think a smack can. Well, that's right, Kevin. They would all show black and white pictures. Yeah, no, there has to be. Yeah. But once if the grill falls out of the slots at the edges, then you're fucked. There's no getting that back in. I remember that article, but after a number of members to try that method, the results were a bit variable. If it works, it's good, but if it fails again, it's likely to be terminal. Yeah. This is going back to the non-destructive CRT rejuvenation method that was featured on the VRAT forum a number of years ago. They suffer from shorts. Yeah. I think they can, alright. Mr. Blackie says Trinitron had inline guns while RCA tubes had delta guns. White Sapphire says, if I remember correctly, the theory was to bring new emissive material to the surface without blasting it off the cathode. Yes. Yeah, I think that was it. You're just sort of melting the stuff on the real gently, like, you know. Without, I think it was less likely to work on CRTs that had previously been bopped. I could understand that. I've got 2 or 3 KV 1400s with mint tubes, just dodgy tuners on. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. I had a KV 14 something here at one stage, but she be gone now. It was one that was smashed in bits, actually. I think I made a video of it at the time. It was in flitters. It still worked. Amazing sets. Amazing sets. Jerry BVR is here. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Jerry. Good to have you aboard, pal. Used by the BBC as monitors. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. They're cracking sets. How come you always start streaming just when I get stuck into a TV show? I don't know, Ruth. I didn't just start. I'm here the last hour and 10 minutes. If you're only getting the notification now, you'll have to have a word with YouTube. Terrible, isn't it, Jerry? I'm sorry about that. What can I do, you know? It's just such riveting stuff here. Yeah, so the little 1320, I was going to bring it out tonight, but I just, to be quite honest, I was just too tired. I'm not arsed. I had a long day in work today. Farr says, but I will showcase it here at some stage because looking at it, the convergence is a little bit out on it. A few little jobs need to be done. The on-off switch isn't working. It's just stuck on all the time, so that's going to need attention. It's missing a couple of knobs. I actually have a second one, which would have been the first one, which I got last year. But it lived in a damp shed for quite a while. Now, I don't think that's a showstopper, but it's not quite as tasty as the one I got for 50 quid on eBay. So, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get it going as well. I actually have a plastic one, a white plastic one, which is the same chassis as the, or very, very, very similar chassis to the 1320, but it's in a white plastic cabinet. And apparently most of those got scrapped for CRTs, for the wooden cabinet ones. So I don't know. I think it might actually be more rare, funny enough, than the. That's what the gentleman I was talking to during the week. He says he never heard of one of those. He thought that might be even more rare than the wooden cabinet one. But we'll see. It's a job for down the road. I was given the two of them together, and I was told the one with the plastic cabinet has a good tube in it, so swap them. But I might actually keep the one with the plastic tube cabinet now. That yeah. Anyway, Michael Dranfield is here. Good evening, sir. Excellent video, by the way. I didn't get a chance to comment yet, but I will. To be quite honest, and I will put my hand out for a slap here, I didn't get to watch the whole video, but I do intend on watching the whole video. But for anyone who hasn't, of the couple of sets that I gave Mr. Dranfield when I went to visit him, one of them he's after doing an excellent job on. Let me just see what's going on here. Far 64 says, I have a Sony KV 2942U. It's a 5.1 surround sound model. Has a problem at the moment with 2 flashing LEDs. Have all speaker and the spare chassis. Yeah, they're very good. Sounds like a big television. Excellent television, by the way. Excellent. What was the 13-inch model with a cream vinyl over the metal cabinet? I can't remember. Was it Sony? That sounds like something like can't remember now. It's gone out of my head. Sorry, it'll come back to me. I just found a pic of the Sony my brother had. After a few different crap ex-rentals, we got the Sony from TJ Hughes for 99 quid. Ex-rental again, but warranty. Basic 8-channel, non-remote, but a cracking television. How much have I missed? Exclaims Michael. No notification from YouTube once again, and only just woke up. You haven't missed much. I'm on about an hour, but we're only talking shit. Roundy Mooney says, welcome, Michael. Oh, yeah, very good. Strangely, I got a notification on the phone, but none on the desktop. Yeah, I don't know what the story is. These notifications. E29 something in the shed with a 5.1 satellite woofer fitted at the back. Yeah, sounds like a nice. Too much to drink again after the Sunday dinner. I could go in for a bit of that myself, Michael. That sounds nice. Yeah. But it's back to work tomorrow, Michael, so behave yourself now. Absolutely. Philips TV Stella Companion was a vinyl covered metal cabinet. It was. I think he was talking about Sony, or at least the colour set. This was a Sony in the cream vinyl. Don't know that one. The one I have is cream plastic 13-inch, or like the. Yeah, it's a plastic cabinet version of the 30 and 20. So I didn't come across one with a metal cabinet. The Teleton. That's the one I was trying to think of, Kev. Teleton. Yes, that came in a metal cabinet. Like the 1340. Mooney says, it's amazing the way things are gone up. We have a jar of coins here. We have a jar of coins here which remains undepleted for months on end. We just tap now. Yeah. Cash in the wallet just sits there. Yeah. I know, it's strange, alright. Only cream Sony I can think of is the portable with the touchpad buttons above the screen. I don't know about that. And then there were all those offerings from the Soviet Union, which had metal cabinets. The 1400, yeah. Teleton made a model. Has anyone got one of those Teletons, by the way? I would be interested to see one of those. The Americans were mad for metal cabinets, as I have learned from Shango when he's not on one of his political monologues. Yeah, that gets tired really quickly, doesn't it? Yeah, can't do politics. They do look quite well. Yeah, they do. There's some nice stuff. I remember one he did years ago, and it was a Ford badge television. Can't remember who made it, but it was Ford badge, but like that. It was in one of these metal cabinets. I think it was wood effect spray cover effort. Ray Bourne has entered the chat. Good evening, Ray. I know where there is a Teleton valve set. Hoping to get it when my friend gets back from holiday. Very good, Michael. Like the sound of that. Yes, indeed. What is it now? It's just gone 19 minutes past. It's just gone 20 past 9. On this relaxing Sunday evening, Philco products were often badged as Fords. It could very well have been a Philco. To memory now, I can't recall. Ray Bourne says, "Hi, Roundy, John, Michael, Sapphire, Kev B." Triod Hexod is in the chat too, so good evening. Telidon or Telidine, simple PAL sets that look like USA imports, small CRTs. Oh, yes. No, Teleton, wasn't it? Teleton. I would love one of those. I would. I would really like to get my hands on one of those little televisions. Very interesting looking little machines indeed. One of the rental companies in England bought a load of those and used to rent them out. The little small ones, the American looking ones. What was the name of the rental company? Don't think it was Rediffusion, but it was Granada, I think. Granada Colorette. See that now? A Granada Colorette. That was a Teleton, rebadged. Granada Colorette. Yeah. See that? It's all there. All this useless information. Dennis says Granada, but I got there before. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd love to get one of those little televisions. What interesting little things. It's hard to type fast on a small phone. Dennis, I'm quite impressed that I remember that so quickly. It's so long since I thought about one of those. Little Granada Colorette. Yeah. What a neat little thing. Fascinating little televisions. Yeah. Now, if someone wants to park with one of those, do let me know. We'd give one a home tomorrow. No problem. They were based, I said Teleton, I think I'm wrong because they were based on American television and it was the GEC Portacolor. That's what the Granada color that was based on. I saw Teleton VCRs well into the 90s, sold at the electrical wholesalers. Were they any use, Kevin? I think I've got a Teleton badged black and white TV here somewhere, but it's just a badge. You know, it's one of these Korean 12-inch black and whites that were bloody everywhere, you know. GEC Hitachi. Oh. Yeah, I was just telling everyone, I don't know how we came to this segue of talking about Granada colorettes and shit like that. I was telling everyone, Michael, that I picked up recently Sony KV1320 Mark 1, which is in lovely working condition. It needs the usual bit of fluting about done to it. Conversions is out a bit. Noisy pots. The on-off switch is stuck on and shit like that. The neon in the tuning indicator is nearly burned out. Want a new one of those. I'd like that to light up because it looks nice. Jobs like that, but it's a really nice nick, and I only paid 50 quid for it off eBay, which I thought was a decent price for what they are. If I remember correctly, Michael has one of those on his shop counter. Don't know if it's a Mark 1 or a Mark 2 or no. Yeah, but interesting televisions. Always fancied one. As I was explaining to people here, Michael, that there was one in a Sony shop window just as a display years ago, and I remember going, I like that. I'd like one of those, but I never liked the price that people were looking for them. But this one popped up anyway, from a quite serious TV collector based here in Ireland, but he's actually an English gentleman. I think he's sort of half over here and half over there, but he was disposing of a few sets anyway, so I was actually after another set that he had for sale, but this was sort of a consolation prize, and he had a buy me now 50 quid, and I said, yeah, I think I will. And it all worked out well. Let me see. Michael says he's got 2 of them. Of course he does. I didn't think of offering me one of them when I was there. Kevy Wevy says, I remember Park Centre. The Park Centre was pretty effective. Centre they were affiliated with Mitsubishi in Hatfield. Granada, writes Dennis, was a very large company. They had a finger in every pie going, even owning Little Chef and several cleaning companies. Dennis used to work for them many moons ago. Very interesting. I thought they were not made in Japan. No, there was, you had Mitsubishi. They were in the UK. Then you had, of course, Toshiba, who took over Bosch. There was a few. I think Sony were in the UK as well, weren't they? Making sets. At one stage, there was a lot of the Japanese companies moved into the UK. Interesting times. All finished now. Dennis says Richard Sounds in Reading had a habit of charging twice for Reebok stuff. Caught them red-handed doing it to me. Panasonic had a place in the UK as well. I think they were one of the last to close, weren't they? Rayborn says, I stuck my tongue out too late. Yeah, I think so. Granada had motorway service stations. Tryout Hexod says, Michael Tranvey's latest Morphe, a later RBM Toshiba post, is a joy. He mentioned Odge had something to do with it. He did all right. He dumped I dumped several sets. Well, more fly tipped them as I was going past. you know. But yeah, so yeah, excellent video. We don't want to say too much about it because there's people watching here tonight who haven't seen the video yet, who are looking forward to watching it. Roundy Mooney is one, Mr. Dranfield, so just be aware. 14-inch Orion. Ah, Jesus, there's a blast in the past. Thanks, JJ. No bother. I don't want it to spoil. I wouldn't mind it. It's not like a fucking football game. You know what I mean? Oh, you know. Man U 3, Scunthorpe 0. But yeah. It is decidedly bottom end of the market, yeah. But you've had it at least 30 years. Man, it's, you know, when you look back at it that way, you know, Jesus, where did that go? Like, you see them kind of televisions around in relative, not as common as they were like a few years ago, but you still see them around. I'd never think of picking up at like that. You know, that's a modern television to me. But I don't know, maybe I should start changing my mind about this stuff because it's going to vanish pretty quickly. Except, well, it's not up to me to save everything. Other people need to, they're interested, need to grab stuff as well. But no, it is interesting how you're looking at stuff from the 90s. There was modern, you know, it's modern. When I look at a 14-inch colour portable from 93 or whatever, and them little Philips ones with the little handle moulded into the top, that's a modern television. And then you think, oh, hold on a minute, that's a bleeding antique. Strange, you know. Oh yeah, it's in perfect order around the well, believe it. Probably never go wrong, probably never will. You'll never take the back off that as long as you have it. Like the Toshibas. I had a couple of Toshibas. I don't know if I still have them or not. I gave some of them away. I think I gave one to Michael actually. But they never had the back off. You know. I'm going back to the late 70s there, and they never gave problems. Try and get a modern set to last 30 years. Will you try and get an LED to last 30 years? You see, this is the issue. And I don't know, Michael will comment in greater detail about this because modern TV repair is not my forte at all. But from my experiences with a few that I've repaired over the last while, one is I don't want to be repairing them. Of a 32-inch LG, that's 4 years old, that the backlights are gone in, right? I just opened it up to have a look. And how you split the screen on it, epoxy nightmare. Now, I'll be able to do it, I think, but, you know, set of backlights are only about 10 quid for it, so I'm going to go ahead and order it anyway, just for the crack. But they're not made to be repaired. As Michael said, modern sets are shite. 18 months for some, and the screen is faulty. Yeah. And I think 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the backlights, isn't it, Michael? I don't know. I'm trying to change the backlights. Now, I know Michael was at that. He was showing me the jig that he has for holding them up and all this kind of crack. Nightmare. Total nightmare. The only way that I would tackle one is if it's one that was going in the bin. You know, I'll have a go at it for the crack, but I certainly wouldn't take one in as a repair for someone, because when when you're splitting the set like that, you know, one wrong little move or one wrong, you sneeze or something, and that little tiny sheet of glass is snapped, and that's it. You know, and what do you tell your customer in that situation? So no way. Doesn't interest me in the slightest. I don't mind if it's one that's getting thrown out and it's a snazzy television that's 3 or 4 years old. They're saying, you know, it's top of the line. They're all thrown out because it's working, but it's all dark or whatever. You'll have a go at it for the crack. But you can get the backlights cheap enough, especially if you're willing to wait for them for a few weeks from AliExpress or somewhere. And then, you know, if you do crack the screen and everything, well, there's nothing lost, you know. But yeah, as Norman Donnelly says, his LG Plasma from 05 is still working. Yeah, plasmas are still working, all right. I did have the opportunity, but turned it up due to a lack of space or interest, to pick up Sony's first plasma television from 2002, and it was still in working order. I think it was bigger than 42. I think it might have been a 50-inch, something like that. Giant. Must have cost, you know, 10 grand or something when it was new. Ridiculous thing, you know. And I looked at the back of it, and I think it said like 700 or 800 watts or something, you know. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, the G6 wouldn't use that. So I know where to put it, so I just said, no, I can't take that. But interesting. I wonder, will some of these early plasma televisions become collectible? Because obviously that is a medium that has disappeared. You know, they stopped making plasmas in, I don't know, I think Michael will tell us 2014 or something. But wonderful sets, for picture-wise. My flat screen died last Thursday after 8 years, went straight into recycling bin. Backlights, of course, was no arse repairing it. And you're right. I would agree with you 100% underscore. You're right. Why would you be arsed? I wouldn't. Just off so for the crack. But no. Like if the TV inside the house there blew up tomorrow, let's go out and buy another one. I might bring it in here and have an autopsy of it and get the backlights into it if I could, and give the set to someone who needs it or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's sad the way the whole thing is gone. It makes me sad. Hey, cheers isn't bad for a modern one. No, it probably isn't. People put plasmas over the fireplace and use them as alternative heaters. Yeah, heat off them was incredible. White Sapphire is 2008 Samsung 32 LCD, and that would probably be VFD. Oh, for fuck's sake. Tubes. As opposed to LED, which seem to last longer actually. Everything modern is designed to fail, yeah. My 2700 Microsoft laptop has a bad battery sealed inside, 2-year warranty, but the sealed battery is not included because it's a consumable that I can't change. Yeah. This one will only do 720, but a lovely pick on it. Oh, look good. Donny says this is 1080. I saw an early expensive plasma used vertically as a monitor for the UK map in an office. Poured in after a couple of weeks, I'd say so, yeah. Oh dear. My Panasonic has the backlights reflectors falling off. Yeah, that seems to be an issue too. Or with the lenses falling off the LEDs too. The glue fails and the lenses fall off. Giving on even light, you know. Plasma is a nightmare. They are an EMC disaster. They pass the tests in the factory, no problem. But when they get old, they slowly ramp up the output to the screen, creating horrendous noise. Oh, they were very noisy, yeah. There's no denying that, Dennis. Main TV now is a 70-inch Sony bought last year. I wouldn't even attempt a repair if it died, except maybe backlights, as JJ says. You'll have some crack splitting a 70-inch television round you. I hope you've got a very big kitchen table. Richard Sounds, there was 6-year warranty on selected flat TVs. I think that's quite persuasive. Yeah, I think it is too. The LG clicks and ticks for about 2 hours after you turn it off in the dead of night. I always know when she's been watching telly. Modern sets. Our work was donated an 8-year-old LG that the picture cut off after a few minutes. It turned out that the customer opinion in one of the menus. A customer option in one of the menus. What? Why would you give someone the option to do that? That's crazy. That is crazy. That does sound weird, yeah. You can turn off the screen, and then you've no way of getting into the screen to turn it back on. You know, for listening to radio on TV, perhaps, yeah. Odd though, Jerry, isn't it? I don't know. It's such are the joys of modern televisions. Rowney says, "Oh yes, just turn it back on to reset, I suppose." Suppose so. This is one educational chat. Every day is a school day with Odge Nodge, Roundy. That's for sure. Michael says, on newer sets, the glass is half as thin as older sets, so the chances of the glass breaking is twice as great. I noticed that, alright. I do remember that the older sets, the LCD screen was, a substantial sheet of glass, whereas now they're just not made to be repaired, and that is the fact that we have to live with. Chipmunk is here. Good evening, sir. I'm late. You have to keep going now for 2 hours. I think you'll be doing well, Chipmunk. I can already feel myself. Yeah, but we'll say. Finlandia CRT had a picture off option. Interesting. I definitely won't be touching it. The first one went back after a fortnight as it developed a vertical line. Oh dear. Less metal and less weight, thinner frames and bezels makes them delicate. It's a race to the bottom. Yep. It sure is a race to the bottom. I don't know how the way looking at the sets now, the way they're being made, I mean, how can they make them any cheaper? I don't think they can. It's gotten ridiculous. It has. This Sony is extremely light, and that says a lot for a 70-inch television. You say that a 70-inch television is really light. I mean, that's just crazy. Michael says some sets don't even bother. I don't even bother looking at curved screens. We discussed the curved screens when I was with you, alright. And some UMC sets where the LCD panel is glued into the frame. Oh dear. Well, that's a non-starter, isn't it? If the screen's glued into the frame, that's the end of that. And as Michael said to me when I was over there with him, we were talking about the curved screen televisions. Now, they were a bit of a gimmick in them. You don't really see them anymore. But he educated me because he said, I asked him, says, curved screen televisions, what do you do with them? And he says, well, you don't do anything with them. But he says, John Joe, the thing you have to remember with the curved screen TVs are that the glass isn't curved. It's a straight glass that's bent into the curved bezel and then clipped in. So as he said to me, and I hadn't heard of this, but that they're known for exploding in houses, which is nice. Yeah, so curved TV. I always thought that was a gimmick. I remember the first one I was saying, I said, that's a load of shit. Curved screen is like 3D. Remember them? Kevy Webb says they glue the LCD panels into industrial flat monitors too, but they're often more than a couple of grand to replace. We have to attack them with a heat gun and palette knife and just fix them. Jesus, that sounds. The glass is stressed constantly. Yes, we have an ultra-wide monitor and have warned the girls to be careful with it. Yeah, because you wouldn't know. They're making them thinner so idiots can fold the 40-inch plus screens into their cars. Is there anything to watch on it in 3D? Yeah, I thought 3D was kind of a thing of the past, actually. Funny enough, they just need to get bigger cars. Yeah, well, I'd agree with you, Roundy. Yeah, bigger cars. But no, that's it's not for when they're bringing them home from the shop. It's for when they're bringing them to the recycling centre 6 months down the road. Fold them in half. There's a feature that they should start doing with televisions now. You know, this television is very easy to recycle. They should start using that as a selling point. You know, we will come to your house after 6 months and recycle your television for you. Oh, a load of crap. Terrible, isn't it? Gimmicks, yes. Remember the KBs with the smoked glass? Yeah, deep seeing. KB deep seeing. They look quite slim and cool in the day. Still had a hand-wired chassis though, yeah. Michael says, that's something I don't understand. How can they make a phone where the screen folds up? I don't know, but I've seen them myself. One of them was demonstrated to me in the shop. I didn't like it. I don't know. Seems to work okay. And I know a couple of people that have them and they're all right. They haven't failed yet after many, many months of use. Not for me though. See the new Samsung S23 is out. Makes my S21 Ultra 5G Plus Super seem very old fashioned now. Crazy. Still think they're using the same camera set though. Just put it on the roof. Don't strap it down and put your foot down. Yeah, that's one way of dealing with them. Flexible polymers and a lot of hype. Yeah, it's a fad thing, isn't it, Chipmunk? And much like the curved TVs, there'll be no mention of folding screen phones in another couple of years, I don't think. Oh. My criteria for getting a new phone is, does the old one still work satisfactorily? If no, then buy a new phone. Yeah. somewhere, and a guy trying to fit a TV into his truck. Oh God, people are unbelievable. People are unreal. Shit that they go out and rob. They're all just trying to follow Apple. Overrated, overpriced products that don't work properly half the time as well. Don't forget that little bit, Ray. We have the Air TV box thing. She got like some sort of special deal, whatever. It's cheap with the internet for the, an extra tenner a month or something. Even the remote control, the buttons don't fit the plastic right, and you're thinking this is supposed to be an Apple product, and it's supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that. And it's fucking cat. Absolute brutal. Nokia 5110. Ah, yeah. No, 2G is getting a bit patchy now, alright. I remember seeing one embedded in tarmac, and someone had commented, that thing probably still has 2 bars of battery. Probably. Ah, do you remember that used to be? If you go back 15 years ago, the talking point of a phone, before they started getting internet and YouTube and big cameras and shit, was, we can get 7 days out of a charge on that phone. I can remember I can't remember what the Nokia phone was that I had at the time. Little small one. It was after the 3210 anyway. I know that. But I can remember going to London for a week. And I can remember charging it up at home first before I brought it with me. I didn't bring the charger with me. Week of phone. No bother to it. 2J is staying around in the UK because a lot of the older smart meters use it. Ah, interesting. Very interesting. I'm glad to hear 2G is going to be sticking around for a while. I've got a shopping bag in the container full of old phones, Nokias and stuff. So I must dig it out and see if I can get any of them to wake up. Was it an 8210? I remember it was a little smallish one. I don't know. I might have one. I know I don't have that particular one, but I might have one. It was great. I used it as a bottle opener, everything. Super phone. You're safe enough, JJ. Not only smart meters. Ah, super. But yeah, well, I know some electronic gates and stuff like that. The automatic gates that you ring the phone number. I think a lot of them are 2G as well. My very first phone was an NEC. The battery did not last a day when new. Jeez. I got my MR30 somewhere. Takes a credit card size SIM card. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a few phones like that in the bag, alright, that take the huge SIM card. Lots of alarms and stuff use them, and remote reporting stuff. Even some SCADA. Oh. The antenna on the 3210s were a nightmare. Trying to get them to pass in the test box was difficult. Oh. This is interesting, Roundy. White Sapphire says, I still have my old Nokia 2110 and an even older 1610. Does my head in when someone says the tiny bit is a full-size SIM. Right, lads, I'll be back in a minute. But I'm gonna leave you in silence, all right? Because I can't be arsed taking this thing off. Where's it gone? Even camera's gone. Camera. Oh, here I am. Camera. I've got a poll for you. What's the note by the nail? Oh, it's a fella's address. There we have it. Wi-Fi. Now. Oh dear, oh dear. What am I going to do with you lads? It's not fluorescent light either. It's they're LEDs. It was a skip find, the bloody light. Yeah, it was too. Low cap in the power supply. Unreal. Full max for now, strobing. Yeah, but it's not on. They're switched off. So it'll be a long time strobing. That's them on now. Oh, very bright, very bright. But I can see what I'm doing in here when they're on. Lol to say, yeah. No strobing. Oh, no, they're very good lights. Yeah. Right, here's a poll for you. Oh, yeah. I don't do polls. Although I do find YouTube tell me that I should interact with my audience. Or some shit like that. So in the interest of wanting to keep us all happy, I just thought of this when I picked up this switch. Thought an idea. Paul, engage with your audience. Only if I have to. Wait, this is a good pause, I hope. Ha! Norman Tony doesn't know what they are. Oh dear. Norman Donnelly, Volex and MK were both British manufacturers of electrical products such as light fittings, switches, sockets, plugs, that kind of thing. .45 amp switch. 45 amp. Most certainly is a 45 amp switch. Yes, indeed. And you know, it's proper. I got a load of old MK sockets out of a skip recently. Probably replaced by some nonsense, rubbish, modern stuff. And you just think to yourself, you know, they don't make shit like that anymore, you know. Just even the size of the brass screws and all in them, you know, proper gear. Lasts forever. And this Volex fitting isn't much far behind it either. Bloody good setup too. Well made. Proper gear. They don't make them to last like that anymore. You know, I often wonder about people getting their houses rewired these days. Yeah, fair enough, give them a new consumer unit, a new cable, but you know, with the MK stuff or whatever that's there from the 60s or 70s, and then they're tearing that out and they're replacing them with shit. So yeah, it's an isolator, yeah. 45 amp. You know, for a shower or something. An ugly switch with the red rocker either way. Ah, that's terrible. Look, you're after hurting its feelings now, Kev. You should feel sorry about that. That's a bit of 1970s class there. Made in England. And wiring accessories, I think they'd call them. Yeah, most likely, yeah. Sounds good. MK is better, but do not go for their base range. Schneider Electric do a 50 amp switch with a white switch. Oh. I'll have to try the new MK sockets with the lever connections. I haven't seen them. Entry level MK is shy. Yeah, it is these days. Everything here is brushed steel, flat, Legrand. But that was done many years ago. If you're going for an MK, you're better with the top range. They offer either a 10-year guarantee for some or a perpetual guarantee for other, like Snap-on. Oh. I miss 3-pin sockets here. I have a box of MK plugs, all 2-pin and 8-pin coming from socket. European crap. Ah, yeah. What you should do is you should bring some of that BS13, whatever the 1363 stuff or whatever, over there with you and rewire your gaff to make you feel at home. A bit like swapping your old TV for a brand new one. Yeah. All 10 amp rated and 3-phase mains incoming to house. Ooh. Kev has got 3-phase in his workshop. Ah, good for you, Kev. Everything over 2 kilowatt gets a dedicated 240 outlet anyway. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, they have 2-phase or something coming into the house in America, don't they? 110 and 110 and then 220 across them. Something like that. Split phase, single phase, incoming with a center tap transformer. Yes. As there's no rotation on content. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get you. And I suppose the loading probably adds up. You know, probably balances out overall. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to pull out the heater. See, no issue. Ah, super. And of course, the US distribution, the trafo is a true single phase, 1 wire and a ground. Interesting. The 480 was for the fully electric laundry. You'd wonder, all right. Anyway, time for the results of the poll, which is not surprising, really. Everyone goes for MK more or less, but 5% though voting for Volex, which is interesting. Interesting indeed. We have 28 watching with 27 watching with 42 likes. So Not bad for a very quiet live stream on a Sunday evening. Not bad at all. Remember Wilex with the round centre and two flats? Haven't seen one of those. I like that roundy. To my mind, 110 is too low, and the mixed deploy regime to me is just bonkers. Yep. But then these are the people who use Fahrenheit. Probably does, yeah. You see, that's the thing with the USA. It's not really one country. It's a load of little countries joined together, because they've all got different laws in the different states and stuff. It's a strange setup. It's worse than that. Every city or county can set its own regs. Oh, jeez. Chicago requires everything to be in a conduit. God. Darman Smith. The only thing that Darman Smith reminds me of is those little flashing lights on the cones. Traffic cones. Oh, stop. Yeah, that uses too much copper, I'm afraid. They won't be going for that. They must have, yeah. They're not a company I know anything about now, to be honest with you, Kev. As I said, the only thing I ever seen with Darman Smith on them was these. They made the nice steel boxes with the little flashing lights for the traffic cones. So 25 hertz is 4 times the size. Oh dear. You can imagine the trouble that'll cause. DC mains is elephant proof. It also states you can run a 60 hertz transformer at 50 hertz by reducing the voltage by the same proportion. That's interesting. Edison killed an elephant to prove DC was safer. He was a bad man, really, wasn't he? Ferguson and Palin. No, they're another new one on your right sapphire. Every day's a school day here, definitely. We have sockets in the bathroom. Ah, yeah, well, you like Spain or that when you're on holidays. Here's the thing I don't get, and here's one for the electricians watching, all right? So here in Ireland and in the UK, we're constantly, told about regulations on wiring and safety and, and well, not so much in the UK now, but up until a point, that the EU dictate that we do things this way and EU dictate that we do things that way. Yeah, when you go to mainland Europe, whether it be Holland, which I'm familiar with, of course, or Spain or any of these places, the fucking wiring is a disgrace. And you've got sockets in the bathroom, as was said there, and these switches that if you touch them with wet hands, you get blown across the room and all. So it's obviously not the EU that's dictating all this. Like, who's making up all this crap? Because the regulations seem draconian to me now at this stage. Some of the stuff that they go on with. The EU dictate nothing. That was the same crap we got over here with Brexit. The EU makes suggestions. Tabloid media and fingers and pies. Well, to be fair to you, Punk, they did stop everyone in Ireland from cutting turf, and that was an EU directive, not an EU suggestion. Rayro, Magnaflex, Merlin, AEG, yeah. Sounds sort of like a Kev. European wiring I've seen has been shocking, literally, yeah. I have to say the same now. The way my mother's flat was wired in Holland was unbelievable. I mean, they were just short of having no switch at all, and you just twiddle two wires together to turn the light on. Hotel in Budapest that had a hairdryers wired above the sink permanently. I like the sound of that. That's good common sense, you see. Go to India or South America. Oh yeah, well, in the slums where they all climb up and hook up their own supplies, and then every couple of months, the supply board lads come along and disconnect them all, and then an hour later, your man's up the pole again, shimmying. Zap, zap. Oh, they don't give a shit over there. Very few, Jerry, I would imagine. Oh. Does anyone in India actually pay for it? No, read that. Try iron old days. You could get a 2-pin converter that you could plug your iron into the overhead kitchen light. Yes, I have those. I have a few of those here somewhere, I'm sure, yeah. No, unsafe trending cables, that's right. IR2 bar electric fire, don't forget. Not forgetting, a long time ago, we were plugging radios into a light socket with a BC plug, yeah. The UK is regulation mad. I think it's getting out of hand somewhat. It is. Well, you see, all these health and safety lads have built a whole industry around health and safety. And when everything is being made as safe as it can be, what are those lads going to do? They have to keep finding more stuff. Otherwise, they're out of a job. And it's a very profitable, a lucrative game to be in. Well, it's the exact same here, Kev. Every year, more and more stuff. It doesn't matter whether talking about electricity, obviously, electronics or whatever here, but just in life in general, you know, every year they bring out more and more and more, and it's starting to get a bit silly, you know. Job that I'm working in at the minute, I can't go up a step ladder without wearing a hard hat. Now, when I say a step ladder, I mean a 2-step step ladder. Says in the SOPs that I have to wear the hard hat. Now, that's a bit, you know. Chipmunk says, got a pedant set like that sat on the shelf above my PC. You removed from my basement 2 years ago. Power some blows, cloth cover, twin flex, brass lamp holder with 1 cord grip. Oh, lovely. Cloth covered rubber, yeah. As an example, I had to go to a cosmetics factory last week. Now I'm bald as an egg, and they made me wear a hairnet. Oh, shit, yeah. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Chipmunk says, Jerry, that's why the hole by the earth pin used to be mandated. So many people used to just cut the green wire off. Ah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, walking on heights. Yeah, if you're standing, that's something that we did I had to do a safe pass course. I'm sure you have them in the UK as well. And that's right. Walking on height is also if you're. It's not about the height. It's about the possible fall. So yeah, if you're walking beside a manhole cover that's open, or you know, a trench that has been dug, and they gave some formula for, you know, the trench, but if the angle of the trench is more than 45 degrees or some shit like that, you're working on a height. Comes into play there as well, yeah. Because it's not about the height, it's about the fall. But it's crazy stuff, Kev. Crazy stuff. To visually verify the earth was there. Ah, yeah. The biggest part of the job was cutting the timber trunking to size before they went there. Wonderful. I always used to assume it was the radio people connecting earth wire. Yeah, that's actually what I thought, Chipmunk. They have to wear a hard hat, end of saw. Two lads from Virgin Media last week checking the cable runs. As soon as they got out of the van, hard hats went on. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That be the rule. If anything ever happens, make sure your colleagues put your helmet on before they call for help. Oh yeah, that's well covered. Yeah, we have our own SOPs as well, you know, Roundy. OMG, yes, our house when I was growing up had the oak casing and capping, and VIR wire still in use till it caught fire in the attic, as we discovered later, and blew the fuse. Irvine 20 has just joined the chat. Good evening, sir. Very late indeed, but we'll let you away with it down the back there to the left. Funny enough, Roundy Mounty, if you look on AliExpress, now I think they're new old stock Russian stuff that has come up, but they're round switches, and they're just like the ones you used to see in Ireland at one time, yeah. With the little lever, you know what I'm talking about. But they have them up on AliExpress. No, not all that expensive. They look decent quality ceramic. I think they're ceramic. I know it's a while ago since I was looking at them, but they looked. I do remember commenting to myself that they looked of decent quality. So that stuff is still out there. I have a few nice old ones of some real old brass switches. I think one might go back to the late 1800s. I must dig it out and show you some evening. Pharmaceutical manufacturing plant. I can only imagine. I did a stint in a semiconductor manufacturing plant here in Ireland for about 6 months, and that was health and safety at another level too. So I can have a rough idea where you're coming from, all right. Clipboard warriors who have never been on the tools. Common sense is a valuable commodity these days. The problem is, Kev, the value of common sense is not recognised by all these arseholes. And I work in an environment now. Whilst it's not overly obtrusive, it really does take the joy out of doing a day's work. But it's just the way the world is going, you know. Chipmunk says, yes, round brass toggle switches on a wood mattress to modern spec, 25 quid each. Don't forget your hard hat, high vis, gloves, safety glasses if you want to walk. Oh, don't forget your, you know the crack. Kev B, common sense is not very common anymore. It isn't, sadly. I wouldn't be allowed on an actual site. My boots are worn through to the toe cap. Your business. Oh, you can get them all right. I know you can get them. Well, I'll tell you what, we can make Chipmunk an approved user or some such, so we can send a link. JJ, I know you're watching. Come out. Where do you think I am? Uh-huh. Uh, hmm. Right, Chipmunk, you can now post your link for Roundy Mooney. Am I not getting out here? Hello? Working here. It's working for Kev. Can Roundy Mooney not see me? That's weird. Because Roundy Mooney says, JJ, I know you're watching. Come out. I don't know. No problem at all, Chipmunk. Can Roundy Mooney see me? Don't know what's going on there. Stuff that he says up here in the chat. JJ, I know you're watching. Come out. And then, yeah, because, let's see, who come in there late? And he also said to them, welcome, Irvine70. Feel free to join us. Odge has, like the Polar Express, gone out and maybe some time. Well, I am here. Who is JJ? Well, I should think he's referring to me as Odge, JJ, John Joe. Roundy winding me up? Perhaps he is. I don't know. Oh my God. That's weird. It just came back. I was looking at that nail for half an hour. That is strange, Arlo. I was wondering what was going on there when you said you couldn't see me. I thought I wasn't getting out. That's weird. Could you hear me okay? That's odd. That is an odd one. Anyway, not to worry. That's right. Maybe you hit pause by mistake or some such. Is that beer or lemonade? Asked JD. It is Smillig's Red Ale. So very weird indeed, Roundy. Oh well, at least all is well now. It's getting nippy again in the shed. Dear oh dear. We shall engage Warp Factor 3. Sherry. Now there's a drink I haven't had in a long time, Kevin. There's a question for the live stream. Milk for Kevin B. Good man. Nothing wrong with that. I used to like nothing more than down on a pint of milk in one go as a young fella. Sherry is sweet. Sherry is a lovely drink. Indeed. Roundy Mooney, well, at least you had a nice sight of that now famous nail. Everyone's fond of the nail. Let's see. A question for my audience. My audience. Right? What's your favourite drink? There's an interesting question for the live. A soda stream, soda water. A good Merlot. Oh yeah, nice. Haven't had any wine in a long time. Mr. Travis likes a lager or a whiskey, and I like the way he spelled whiskey, so he drinks proper whiskey, none of that nonsense. Jerry's a coffee man. Pepsi Max for Kev, fair enough. Sarsaparilla, Jesus. Extract the nail and use it as a competition prize. I don't think I could part with the nail, Kevin, to be quite honest. Let's see. Pilsner. Leslie Diamond likes proper whiskey as well. A lager beer for Irvine 70. Hot chocolate with a squirt of cream and a mint chocolate. You see, you had me now, White Sapphire, till you got to the mint chocolate sprinkles. You lost me at that bit, right? But I actually have a hot chocolate most nights before I go to bed with the old squirt of cream in it and a few marshmallows. Don't know about mint chocolate though. That Roundy Mooney likes mint chocolate, but then he's from Cork, so that could happen. Let's see. In seriousness, for alcoholic, a decent IPA, not the over hot crowd. No, and I agree with you there too. That's and for non-alcoholic, carbonated water. I love sparkling water myself. For whiskey, any decent brand, get the E out with the brackets and we'll be doing all right. Kev Bezos, Pepsi, and a soft drink is a Pepsi, a short Jack Daniels, a beer, a real ale. Well, real ales are, a good real ale is much like, like a Guinness Extra Stout or something. It's a good thick meaty drink that you could live on if you had to. What's a propyl alcohol? Michael Draven, give it. Seriously, some decent Scotch single malts can be interesting too. No, I have had a drop of Scotch on occasion, and yes, no, I would drink it. I would drink it, but I must say I always come back to the old reliables, like your red breasts or your green spots or whatever. Right, is that from I quite like a Marston's Pedigree. Funny enough, that's what I was drinking when I went over to see my father the night before the MVCF, we were drinking that gear in his local boozer in Colville, and it was lovely stuff. Strong, you know. You wouldn't drink too many of them now, but lovely gear. Really nice Kev, yeah. So 10 out of 10 on that. And funny enough, it's just when I couldn't remember the name or till you typed it and put it in there. I thought, oh yeah, that's the stuff. Marston's, yeah, lovely gear. All you need is acetone, tin bleach, and the freezer, and you two can make your own chloroform. I don't think you can type that, can you? Chipmunk, bleach, acetone, tin bleach. Okay. I don't drink, says Norman Donnelly. Yeah, he ate the fruit out of the sangria and got Jesus Christ. God love you. They were confusing it, possibly on purpose to prevent copycats with diethyl ether. Oh yeah. I have 2 litres of acetone as well. Stay off the acetone, right, if you can. In the old days, I'm nagging a Smirnoff and at least 6 Heinekens. A decent Ruby Ale or the Porter, says Kevy B. Guinness with a small power. Ain't taken. Old skill. Little baby power. Can't cope with Heineken after the 1989 Christmas party. Oh, Jesus. Whatever happened to Harp Lager? Harp Lager's still going. Just they don't advertise it anymore for some reason. They don't push it out there. But Harp Lager, up or down the border counties and down in the bog, Harp Lager would, and you can get the Harp Lager in pint bottles in selected locations, which I was quite surprised by. It was down in Kilkenny a few years ago, good few years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, and they were drinking pint bottles of Harp Lager. Wow, what the fuck is this? Never seen that before. How are you, Rob? All is well here. Robert Cross is in. Robert's radio channel is in. How are you doing, sir? There's a great joke. What's the next best thing about being American? About being American. What? There's a great joke. What's the best thing about being American? No, Kev, tell us. Fill us in, quick. You can call Budweiser beer. Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, I never went in for any of that American stuff now, I have to say. Oh no, Roundy Mooney is a Budweiser drinker. Waiting to say now. I could tell by it. Budweiser is like making love in a canoe. Fill in the rest. George Donaldson is here. CQDX. 5 and 9. Your report, please, on number UR153. George. Thank you. Me bollocks. I do not recognize your call sign. Please, yeah. What is it? QSL? No, I used to drink in a Bowser, a few lads, and they all drank Budweiser. And every now and again, when you'd be deep in conversation and yakking and having the crack, you'd pick up the wrong pint glass. I was a Heineken man at this time. Well, Heineken and large bottles of Guinness, depending on the night. Sometimes you pick up you just reach over and you pick up the wrong the Budweiser used to come straight out, projectile. God love anyone in the way. But you certainly knew you certainly knew. Rowney Mooney asked, did I change the settings on the chat? I did actually. I went in and I did a bit of tweaking, because in the early days of the live streams we had problems with robots coming in and acting the mega, fucking things up. So I went in and I unset that. So life seems to be going much easier and people are behaving themselves. We had a few unruly people at the start of the live streams, which was all fine and well, but it was just a couple of people were just using far too much bad language. But that has filtered off now as well. So I mean, everyone's behaving themselves. I don't mind a bit of bad language, but it was getting a bit out of hand at times. Anyway, all is well. We've all decent people watching us and in the chat, and we don't have any problems. Everything is a very rounded community where everyone sort of gets on and enjoys themselves, which is what I love to see. And everyone is respectful of everyone else, which is good. So, no, I'm very happy with how the YouTube is going. Radio Restoration by Collins is in as well. So that's, Jesus, we have a few people just landing in all of a sudden. Late night, obviously some more interesting live stream has just closed. George Donaldson says, I passed 5,500 subscribers today. Good man, George. Fair play to you. That's no mean feat. And you deserve it. For sure. So, fair play to you. Keep on the upward road, Mr. Donaldson. Right? You're on the right track, sir. Radio Restoration by Colin. It's good to have you in here, by the way. And we have Rob's radio channel, and we have Robert Cross as well that just joined in. Let's actually we'll do that thing that I do when I'm thinking nothing to say. I'll read out all the people out of the chat. So we have George Donaldson, Jerry BVR, Jim Simpson, good evening, sir. Kev B, Kevy Wevy Woo, right? All the Kevins are in tonight. Leslie Diamond, myself, Radio Restoration by Colin, Rayburn, Rob's Radio Channel, Rowney Mooney, the Chipmunk 2008, Tryout Hexout, and White Sapphire. So great going on the chat. Great going on the chat. And now I have to go in again and turn off the dryer really quick and do something else as well, which I won't mention. But I will be back shortly. I'll turn off the microphone. I have returned on this bloody thing. What's it looking at now? A spanner or something? Come on. Come on. No. Silly, yeah. Oh. What have I missed? Who have I missed? Is George Donaldson still here? He is. Oh, with him we're all right. Robert Cross still here. I'm sure he is somewhere. Now, let's see. We're all excited about my... Nail vision and fence radio. Oh no, bellow vision. Oh dear. Well, sadly. Domberg freezer spray, yeah, in there somewhere. I think it might be metric actually. Let's see what's back. No, you're right. 7/16. Well done, Roundy. 7/16 of an inch. AF. I remember having to ask Mara Domberg how to spell her name. I kept thinking she saying Nora. Oh Jesus, poor Mara. I spoke to her many times on the phone, Kevin, actually. Lovely lady. Mara was. Should I say is. Yeah, poor Mara, yeah. What do you do, Roundy? Did you put a breaker bar on it or something? ESP, UMP. Very good, Chef Monk. That's quite correct. About adjustable spanners. Good man, Robert. A Grundig satellite 6001. It could come down to that, Norman, alright. What's the Smithies like? It's reasonable. It's certainly reasonable. Do a giveaway for who gets the spanner, the right size spanner. Oh, look, well doing giveaways now. What do you think this is, Massey fan, huh? Start throwing shit out to all you fellas for the crack, like. What do you think this is? The nail. Have you seen the price of stamps over here lately? The bell is for Mrs. Oshodge to call him for dinner. I must wire it up, actually. Chipmunk wins the nail. Fair, alright. Chipmunk does win the nail. Here's what we'll do for Chipmunk. He did say 7/16, didn't he? Right? Now. There's gas, you can never find a pen when you want one. But we'll get one. Right? You'd think you'd find a pen in this place, wouldn't you? But the problem is, I think someone keeps coming out here and bringing all the pens into the house. We did have a large collection of pens here at one stage. Now we've very few pens. Which is concerning. Right. There's got to be a pen here somewhere. Somewhere there must be a pen. Every other bloody thing under the sun, but having a pen doesn't make sense. We have some white Tipex though, but that's not really come out on a white wall, is it? Anyway, if we write in white Tipex, we'll be able to see it enough to remember. And then redo it in pen at a later stage. Yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't it? Right, so we're going to call this Chipmunk's nail, right? There is that beautiful nail, right? Chipmunk. Right, there you are. Can't even see it, but there it is. It's Chipmunk's nail, right? So Chipmunk wins the nail. The nail will be kept where it is forevermore to be known as Chipmunk's nail. I will go over it in a black marker and show you the next time I make it live. So there you are. See, we do giveaways. 2 point. Chipmunk's toenail. To be fair, you should dedicate part of the nail to Roundy. Well, we could put another nail up there for Roundy, and then Chipmunk and Roundy could live forevermore arguing about electricity regulations. One another up there, their little nails, living together. So anyway, that's it. We've got 35 viewing with 46 thumbs up, which is pretty good. You're getting an A08 chip. Jesus Christ, Roundy. I am generous, haven't I? I think you should, George. That sounds like a lovely present for someone. $48 thumbs up. 34 viewing now. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Speaking of gadgets, what do you make of this? Isn't that a snazzy bit of kit right there? Do it one of them. Radio Caroline's coming in lovely tonight. No Dutch Pirates tonight. Bit of top band CW going on. Anyway. I only have a rattle gun and I need to drill a hole. That's what I was thinking. Why else would you want to do that to your you wouldn't be doing it with a good socket anyway at home. They're even giving their ERP of what, 4 kilowatts or whatever it is. Chip torque wrench drill bit. Torque wrench drill bit, yeah. It's a 1/2 inch square drive drill or drill on 1/2 inch square holes. I like that, Kev. Built-in hammer action. The old Uga Dugga gun. Great joke. You will sleep tonight after those few cans of beer. Well, that's certainly the intention. It's so weak, it's almost non-alcoholic. But that's not the point. Now, Kev, would you give it up? I think we're all doing all right here, Rob. Yeah, thank you, sir. For drilling a hole to a certain tightness, yeah. Lassie fan says, hit the drill and pray that she goes all the way and doesn't explode in your face. That would be the hope, alright. Question. Most useless tool that was actually sold, not poor quality, etc., but just mostly useless or pointless? I have to think about that. That's a good question, Kev. Jesus, where did you pull that one out? Well, have at it, team. That is a good one. Most pointless or useless tool. One size fits all sockets. Yeah. They do work though. I actually have one here that I got out of a skip. I didn't pay for it. Someone else decided to throw it out. It works to a point. I can remember about 25 or 30 years ago when they used to do telemarketing ads on, I think, Tina G before they started up in the morning on a Sunday, watching this thing for the Gator Grip. Gator Grip, sir. The solid pins and shit, and it grips everything, sir. Yeah, not great. Not Gator Grip. But yeah, they work to a point. I do hate builders who actually do that though. I broke my screwdriver during a bloody, as you're trying to undo a screw on the cooker unit. The wires just came out because cut by the screw. Oh Jesus, yeah. I bought a mains powered desoldering pump. Still using the old fashioned spring loaded ones. Yeah, they're a waste of time then. Gator Grip was accurate though. It worked, but it was the end of its life. Buy now, throw and skip tomorrow, yeah? Cutting bentail from Maplin was pretty useless. Oh, what was that, Kev? For cutting and bending wires or... Well, I can tell you, not the most useless tool ever made, but you know what I'm going to say. I don't know where that bloody magazine is. Oh, Jesus, that is me shit. Oh, no, it's not that. You know what? I don't know where it is. I don't think it's here anymore. I think I probably used it to wipe myself out or something in anger. The issue of practical wireless that I showed you a couple of months ago. Where your man made these two wedged bits of timber to use for lining up wires for soldering. That was a pretty useless invention. I don't know where that article is. It's got to be here somewhere. For fuck's sake. Hello. Over here. Yeah. Here, I found it. Everyone knows what I'm going to say. Well, most people that watch my live streams know about this because I rant about this fairly regular. This contraption. The soldering jig. Right? This is a do-it-yourself. Do-it-yourself article from Practical Wireless And this thing here is, I showed this before a few weeks ago. Come on, get. This here, you put your wires. You put one wire in here and one wire in here, and then this little gap here is where you solder them together. The writer of the article says that you should never twiddle the wires together because that will make them weaker and so on and forth. You must only use the solder to hold the wires together. And this is, step-by-step pictures of how to make this bloody contraption. To be fair, it's not the camera's fault. What I should do is I should set it in place by doing this first. Something like that. Yeah. I remember reading this, and I read, see, it shows this there. That to me is perfectly how you do join two wires together, right? And this is exactly what he says in the article, how not to solder two wires together, and that you should use this jig here. And you can see here, this is how he's soldering two wires together, with them laid side by side. And this, I think, who proofread that article? And this is a licensed amateur radio fella that wrote this. Now, I'm not going to give his call sign here. You can look up the practical wireless for October 22 if you want to know. Doesn't he start telling them hating, bags of dog shit in the mail and stuff. But I just remember reading that, and I had to read it about 10 times, thinking I'm missing something here. There's something I'm not getting about this. Come on. Camera's not saying me. Well, there we go. Right. Blew me mind. I remember I was sitting in bed as you do, like reading. And I remember saying to her, will you read? I said to the wife, will you, Mrs. Aldridge, will you read this article and tell me what I'm missing? Because I can't get my head around this. And she read it and she says, no, you're right. That's total bollocks. Cut the leads and bent them to stop the onset. All right. Sounds a bit useless, all right, Chipmunk. Practical radio ham. Nah. From now on, we won't say squirrel, but nail. That's right, Chipmunk. It's been changed for everyone. The twiddling does indeed work. Harden them. The soldering iron undoes that. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. Nail that to the wall. Practically clueless. It's a fascinating article. I would actually ask people to go and find it and read it, because it was one of those, like, this magazine must be bollocks if they're printing shit like this. I don't know. Maybe I've missed something still that I didn't get, but it made no sense to me. Practically witless, as I've heard it. Like, it's so sad, because, like, just sitting beside this one, I've got ones here from, like, the 50s and stuff. Well, here's one from the 70s. There's one from 1977, September 77. And it's full of interesting shit, right? Full of interesting shit. You could read that for hours, right? You flick through this in 10 minutes. Now, I must say, I'm still tempted to buy it now and again. Just, I don't know. it's probably a nostalgia thing, thinking I'm gonna get a, an episode like that one there, with interesting stuff in it. But no, basically it's just an ad for Nevada and what's the other one? The big one, Radio Sellers. Martin Lynch and Son. All these. Water Stanton. That's all it is. It's just an ad for them. With a bit of shit thrown in around it. Martin Lynch and Son. 3 pages of them. Yeah, it's dire really. Sad. Twist tin, then heat shrink. Now, build the jig, lay your 2 wires together, side by side, and then hit them with a bit of solder to be grand. Used to chat to your man that started up Nevada on Top Band. Oh, yeah. Jim Simpson says, I used to buy Practical Wireless in the 70s. I enjoyed reading it, but it was always skinned and could never hope to make any of the projects. Here's something. Mooney says, hello, Mrs. Odgenodge, but I don't see any comment from Mrs. Odgenodge. Is this YouTube acting the mega for me again and not showing me all the comments? I'm sure she didn't put it like that, Odgenodge. No, not quite, but She says, I think I saw a comment approved. I didn't approve a comment. She may have, though she might be lurking in the background now, to be fair. She may very well be. She's a lurker. She's one of them. Amateur radio mathematics. How many toes? 10, 12, or 10 and 10? Jesus, I don't know. Soda beams. Anyone into soda beams? The Shack computer. I don't know. BHI noise cancelling product. Parametric equalization. It sounds very 1970s pseudo science, doesn't it? The only time I bought Practical Wireless was on a coach trip back from Blackpool to the south of England in the mid-80s. It kept me entertained for a few hours. Less ads on side end chip. I'd say there was probably more ads in it than Roundy, to be honest. Like if I go into the article here from the 70s, the one here, September 1977, it's full to the neck of ads. But you know what? The ads are probably more entertaining than the articles themselves. Pages and pages of ads. But still in between, much thicker, much thicker. Or like this uses a more glossy, nice paper. But whereas this is sort of a newspaper type paper, if you like. But it's all interesting. Where did it all go wrong? Who knows? General purpose shortwave receiver by FG Rare. Yeah, you went from that to some fella telling you had to screw some wires, solder wires like this. Yeah. Anyway, they're doing their best, I suppose. It can't be easy either with the internet. And, like, of course, what we're forgetting here is when this was printed in 1977, there was no other source of information on wireless matters. Whereas now, all I have to do is pick up my phone and type, I like radios. And a lot comes up on that. So it makes the gobbers printing this. They have to print this these days. Their job is very hard. So it can't be simple either. So, I suppose fair play to them. Fair play to them in one way. Can someone explain Brennan's bread slogan? Says Kevy Review. Brennan's. Today's bread today. I suppose it just means, the freshest bread that you can get. It means, today's bread that was baked today. So you're getting on the same day that it was baked. Tis as old as myself. Ah, sure. I worked with a bus mechanic, and his name was Brennan, the second name. And we have a lovely picture of him. Bad fucker, but big long beard. He did 49 years in CIA, retired last year. But we have a lovely picture of him back in the 90s, standing in front of a Van Hill type bus. And on the side of the bus, it says, Old Mr. Brennan. Yeah, And he's standing underneath his big long beard and his big mad long hair. Oh, Mr. Brennan. Says, fuck you, I'm going on strike. Oh, Mrs. Brennan is endlessly annoying, like Mrs. Brown. The ad on the radio is do your head in. Sure, the old Mr. Brennan. Yeah, no, it's gotten a bit tired, all right, Roundy. If today's bread isn't today, it wouldn't be today's bread, would it? Fucking hell, Kev. Things just work differently over here. You know what I mean? Like your water goes down the plug hole this way, yours goes this way. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. You know what I mean? It's just hard to explain. Roundy, I don't know. Do you eat Brennan's bread in Cork anyway? Probably not. You probably eat some sort of weird black bread down there or something. Kev B says, Chip never had enough money to order things. Just used to drill over the yards. Bulls electrical too, yeah. I remember seeing a lad interviewed when he retired from sea. 40 years driving, never owned a car. He didn't need it. I think the Hardy Brennan did fairly well with his 49 years, but I did know of a fellow who did a little bit more than that. But 49 years, went in at 16, And out of 65. Some going. Didn't even get a handshake off the fuckers. But anyway, I could get all political and upset about if I start thinking about that. But yeah. We have bread on some Belfast. Good bread. Good man, Jim. Yeah. No, it is nice bread, actually, yeah. The local PRS Progressive Radio would usually have enough stuff to keep me entertained. Mrs. Odge. Oh, hello, Mrs. Odge. I haven't been watching all the live. I dipped in and out, but kind of did say roughly about half. Hey, Roundy. Hope you're feeling better. And hello to all in the chat this evening. Still got a box of postal order receipts from component suppliers in the 70s. Michael, you have to throw some stuff out. Chipmunk says, Michael Brown, yeah. White Sapphire says, I heard that the water in Ireland doesn't spin as it goes down the plug hole. Just to be bloody awkward. Yeah, it sort of gurgles and sits there and gives you the finger and tells you you're a bad man. And yeah, what are you looking at? Just go down the sink water. No. Yeah, that'd be sort of how it goes here. Delighted with the few bob around the. Oh, Jesus. Can't do it. Come on, Michael. I dare you. I challenge you just to throw one thing out the next. You know what? I'm not coming back till April, all right? As a live stream anyway. So, I just dare you to throw something out between now and then, right? Even if it's like a screw with the head wrung off it or something. RCS and a full page Sinclair adverts, micro radio and Project 60 stereo modules. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Jim Simpson says, that place of yours is a collector's dream, Michael. No. Come on, Michael. Go on. Throw something out. I was telling someone that you even still have your chopper bike from the 70s that you used to bring the sets home on. That's fascinating. Throw out the nail that I won. Chipmunk, that's a bit extreme. I don't think I could ever move that because that's your nail, Chipmunk. I can't throw out something that belongs to someone else, you say. I can lessen the plane if Michael wants to throw something my way. A box of VAT returns from 1978 won't be any use to you, White Sapphire. I've got a stack of original Xbox consoles taller than me. They should be thrown out. Possibly, Kevin. Chipmunks. I know what you mean. The nail is a structural support. It could be. You could say that Chipmunk is is holding the place together now, actually, yeah. Quite possibly. The kingpin. Oh, it could be the kingpin. In the true sense of the word. Now, many's a day I spent knocking a kingpin out or something. gas axes and all that jazz. Heat her up, bed the shit over. Now they have these snazzy hydraulic things that push the things out. They have sentimental value now. Jesus, chipmunk. Oh. I wonder what emoji did. Yeah. Probably the cat one. I don't know. YouTube considers emojis as a spam flag. Oh, I wonder why. That's interesting. I wonder why. Yeah, that's interesting, Harley. I was still thinking about the fact that Roundy Mounty was looking at a nail for half an hour and didn't know where it was. It sounds bad. 31 viewing, 51 likes. I had a feeling we wouldn't get up to the dizzy heights of 62 likes this week. But I think we've done pretty well. I'm going to pull the plug now in a few minutes, by the way. A few minutes. Just so you know where we're at here with the whole thing. I want to go into bed. Because I was up early this morning and so on and forth. It hasn't happened to me before, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, just one of those freak things. Good night, Ray, if you're away. Good night. I do hope to get down to see Ray at some stage. We had a wonderful phone call, myself and Ray, but it's going back, I think going back to June, isn't it, Ray? But we will meet up at some stage. Life willing. I don't know. 29 people watching now. Ray has fallen off into the ditch. I haven't forgotten about email. I'll drop you a line shortly. Just got a lot on at the moment. There's no hurry at all. White Sapphire, things are busy here too. So, don't expect a prompt reply, if you know what I mean. If you send me an email, it could be up to a week before I get back to you, okay? To misquote, life gets in the way. Indeed, Chipmunk. Indeed. Yeah, good night, Ray. Thanks for tuning in anyway. I need to have a whole jig of the place here now. When things get going again in April, We're going to have a bit of an revamp here, a bit of a clear out, a bit of a big clear out. Where we can focus on a few long-term projects that have been pushed out on the long fair. Life is what happens while you're busy making plans. Well, that's it. Making plans is a difficult thing to do. It is. But we'll get back in an even here. Don't throw anything away. How would you feck off, Mike? Will you? I mean, how many sheds do you expect me to build here? Now, sometimes you have to look at something and go, you know what? That has to go in the bin. You know? I mean, no, I can't say that. I was going to say something there that was going to be funny, but I have to be mindful of who might be watching. But let's just say you can't reuse everything in life. So some things have to go in the bin. Mr. Odgenodge's lab. No, it's not going to be any of that kind of jazz now. I'm not going to have oscilloscopes dangling from chains from the ceiling or any of that kind of stuff now. No, you needn't worry about any of that. The microphone and all, yeah, you can see it now. You see it? I can't do it. Can I do his voice? No, probably not. Just trying to think, how does he talk? Hello, welcome to another edition of Mr. Odgenodge's Lab with me, Mr. Odgenodge. Today we're going to have a look at this AR-88. Will it work? I don't know, but I will spend the next 3 hours telling you why you should send me money and join my Patreon or some such, I don't know. It was a CR-88. I know it was a CR-88, Kev. I've got an AR-88. See? You're thinking of your man, Mr. Carlton. That was nothing to do with him. Don't ever be anybody's clone. All right then. Oh yeah, right. So that was Mr. Odgenodge, right? Who's this? How much is delivery for a skip from? Michael, you can get help for that kind of thing, right? Like I've got 20 plaster bars that have been out in the rain for 18 months. I don't think you want those. Well, I'm saying that, Michael. Maybe you do. Right. Who's this? Right. This is a person who only goes on screen very, very rarely. Right. We're fixing this TV today. This is GEC TV. Okay. We're gonna do the cataract on the CRT. Okay. What's that? Lawrence of Arabia. It's not bleeding Lawrence of Arabia. It's a TV repair fella. That say Rowney Mooney has it. Jesus Christ. You know? Man, lads. I can't think of anyone else that can do. They're the two anyway. So who am I like anyway? Am I like anyone or am I unique? I like to think I'm unique. I wouldn't like to think that people think I'm like someone else. I do like to think that I'm unique. Well, I suppose we're all unique in our own way. the politics thing puts me off too, to be honest. And that's not to say I either agree with him or disagree with him. It's just, if I want to watch a fella fixing a TV or radio, whatever shit it is, that's fair enough. And if I want to listen to an arsehole talking about politics, I can do that too if I choose to. You know what I mean? But I don't want it mixed in. That's why. But no, it can be hard work. It kind of ruins it, you know, because the content is very good. The subject matter, of course, is excellent, as we know. But that kind of can ruin it for me. I'm 100% unique. I like that. Don't change anything. I am not bleeding Lawrence of Arabia. Jojo, 2023. I like Shango's politics. Oh, I like it. But pretty detached from. It's pretty detached from European politics. Yeah, I just politics in general I find boring, you know, because it's all the factors that's in behind all these arseholes and whatever. You know, it's just, you know, you vote for one arsehole or you vote for another arsehole, but it's all the same thing. Bob Anderson, yeah, I've seen a couple of his vids. He's quite interesting. California, I believe California is a bit fecked up, alright, with crack and all that kind of stuff. Homelessness and 10 cities and all that. Yeah, and like that, I would be inclined to agree with some of the stuff that he says or whatever, but just don't want to see it there, you know. It'd be interesting, like if you went into a split thing where you know, if you made a second YouTube channel, you know, Shango's political view on the world or something, I think that could be quite interesting, you know. I mean, he has the scope there to make a Joe Rogan type podcast if you wanted to, which could be interesting, you know. He's probably missing a trick, really. But, whatever. But, you know what I don't know. It's all a bit fecked in the head. It does. It gets a bit boring, Jim. Oh, to Jesus, have you ever just insulted me greatly, saying that Odds Dodger's channel is similar to Mrs. Brown's Boys? We can see the influences. Oh, no. That's not to say anything against you, Kevin. That's not. But Mrs. Brown's Boys is just so overdone. It breaks her heart. Mrs. Odds, if she's watching, will interject here somewhere. I am sure of it. Oh, there she is. I was waiting for your response to Kevy's comment. Scooter! That's nice. Oh. No, I can't do Mrs. Brown's Boys at all. Because the first episode or the first series was good, as Mrs. Dodgers would say, but they have rehashed the same fucking joke over and over and over for the last, 15 years? Is that right, Roundy? It's a bit embarrassing now. Kevin says, lol, my mate mother used to love that show. God love her. My late grandmother used to love it too. She died in 2012. But unfortunately, she used to hate Brendan O'Carroll. She thought he was a big feckin' idiot on the television. Or a little feckin' idiot as he is. But she didn't realise that Mrs. Brown was Brendan O'Carroll. She thought Mrs. Brown was an actual L1. Right? And I didn't have the heart to tell her that it was fucking Brendan O'Carroll with a fucking pair of tits and a wig. So to say, oh yeah, that Mrs. Brown is some character on the box, all right. Ah, God love her. She was a wonderful woman. 93 when she passed. And he comes back from Florida every year for the Christmas money. Fucking right he does. I loved it at the start, but then was the same thing over and over, and then it got turned off. That's right, Mrs. Osnodge. Yeah, so that's where we are with Mrs. Brown. It was good, but they just dragged it on too long, Wait, what? Chipmunk's all confused. What's going on? You're in the Odge live stream, Mr. Monk. Mrs. Brown is not an actual person. Feck off. Jesus Christ, I can't do you lads tonight at all. Is that unreal? Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Unreal. It's been a good live stream, lads. I'm glad to come out here and made the effort. I wasn't actually going to bother because there's a bit of stuff going on in the house that was, but it says last minute, so feck it, I'll come out and do it. Right? So I did. And here we are. And it's been good. I'm glad that we got one good live stream. It's a good one to end on for a few weeks that I'll be away. You will see me soon, JJ. I hope to see you soon, JJ. You'll see me again. I shall return. To everyone who watches, and tonight was quite good because actually, good night, Kev. I'm just signing off myself. Thanks very much for sticking with us, and we hope to meet you at some stage and keep it real, and we'll see you in the future. An impromptu live stream could very well happen. Who knows? I wouldn't rule it out. Absolutely, I wouldn't rule anything out. It's just I'm gonna have my hands full for a few months. Well, for the month anyway, at least. But it's been really good. Tonight's live stream went exactly how I would have liked it to go on, whereas it's been mostly the regulars that have been in tonight. Which is good because they're the people that have been with me the longest, all of you. You always enjoy the live stream on a Sunday, which is good. And it's worked out well. An impromptu live stream, as White Sapphire says, could very well happen. I wouldn't rule it out at all. And I think if not, yeah, there could very well be one. Just stand by your computer till May. I could just appear out here for half an hour if I need to get away from something. But we're heading in the right direction. When I come back, we will be reinvigorated. I know that. And I hope to have a bit of a clear out here to make space for a few important projects that have been put on the long figure for quite a while. So we will get going again. Definitely. Now, let's have a look at the chat. As they say, participants. _ Jerry BVR, Ian Deacon, Irvine 70, Jim Simpson, Kevy Big, Kevy Review, Kiltop Brackley, Michael Tranfield, Mrs. Odge, of course. Norma Donnelly, Radio Restorations by Colin, Roundy Mooney, The Chipmunk, and White Sapphire. Wonderful. Anyone else there we've missed out? Do throw your hat in the ring now. Live streams going on for nearly 4 hours. That's unbelievable too. We are doing well tonight, definitely, and hopefully, when time permits, and time being the thing, of course, as everyone knows, time is the thing, and time is going to be lacking here now, unfortunately. Anyway, April will bring more live streams, more fun, more exciting radio and TV adventures. The MVCF won't be long around the corner then either. Fencer Radio will be back. Fencer Radio will be well back by April. Yeah, absolutely. The problem is, he won't get rid of us. I certainly don't want to get rid of any of you. You're all very good to me, and for supporting the channel and watching the live streams and all that goes with it. It couldn't happen without all of you. So I am very. I know there's a few people who will have signed off earlier in the evening who I would have liked to have heard. Would have liked that they would have heard this as well. But I mean, without all of you, none of this could be possible at the end of the day. A very special thanks, by the way, to, of course, Mrs. Odge for putting up with all this nonsense and me being out here on a Sunday evening instead of in watching a bit of box with her. And I must also, of course, mention, especially, Roundy Mooney for his moderation duties and the great work that he does here. I'm sure it's not simple because he has to stay tuned in when he's at his keyboard there, just looking out for comments and all that kind of jazz. And he keeps the thing going. So we owe a debt of gratitude to Mr. Mooney as well. So to everyone else, I wish you a good night. I'm signing off now. This is it. And I will see you again in the near future. Mind yourselves out there, and we'll see you soon.